Good morning. Today, let's talk some immigration. Early in the morning, just got my Tim Hortons coffee. As most of you know, I need coffee early in the morning. No matter what I do, my day can't start without coffee. Like I said, let's talk immigration. A lot of people always ask me about sponsorship. Who can I sponsor? I get calls all the time. I got a cousin back home, he's highly educated, she's highly educated. They'd like to come to Canada and I'd like to sponsor them. I have a brother, I have a sister, I have an aunt, I have an uncle. Well, you can't sponsor a relative who is not your spouse, dependent child, parent, or grandparent, or listen to this, a child of your parent or grandparent who is not an adult. And for the purposes of Immigration Canada and the Immigration Refugee Protection Act, a child is only considered a dependent until the age of 22 or less. After the age of 22, even your own child is no longer eligible for sponsorship. So there are a few categories, general categories of sponsorship. The first being, and probably one of the most popular forms of sponsorship, is the spousal sponsorship category. Outside the spousal sponsorship category is the dependent child category, and a dependent child is considered to be 22 years of age or less. Outside of that are obviously your parents or grandparents. Now, I want to focus on spousal sponsorship today. Spousal sponsorship, oftentimes people ask me, do I need to have a financial requirement? Do I need to be making X amount of dollars in order to be able to sponsor my spouse, much like the parent-grandparent program? No, you don't. You do not have to meet the low-income cutoff level, but you must establish that you are who is the sponsor, and a sponsor is either a permanent resident or Canadian citizen of Canada. Now, the sponsor must establish that they are self-supporting. Now, this can be either by way of a job, which whatever salary you're making does not matter. There is no requirement on the salary you have to be making. Or this can be established by having investments, a large amount of savings. Just the other day, I was retained as counsel on a matter where the sponsor, who is the female, the wife in the marriage, she is a Canadian citizen. She was a Canadian citizen by birth, just solely born on Canadian soil. She moved back to her country of residence or citizenship, second country of citizenship, and lived there for many, many years, met the love of her life there. They got married there, lived there for many years, and her husband is actually a United States citizen as well. And what happened is that they had 2 kids after some time, and they all ended up moving back to Canada. Now, clearly, the husband is a United States citizen, so he needs to be sponsored to Canada, and we're doing an inland sponsorship. But now, the entire family unit, they don't work, and they have in excess of, I think it was $1.7 million in savings. And as of right now, they're living off their savings. They have some plans for business and stuff like that in the future after the husband regulates his status. And I took the case, and I told them there's nothing to worry about. You guys are self-supporting. You will be able to sign the undertaking as listed in IMM 1344, and there should be no issues there. Now, the main thing is, as the sponsor, you do not want to be on welfare, or you cannot be collecting any kind of social services, because in the sponsorship there is an undertaking that you must take, and you can sponsor your spouse. This can be done inside Canada, and if your spouse is within status from within Canada and you're going to sponsor them from within Canada, they are entitled to a work permit as well. And now this category, people are often asking, how do we regulate our statuses? Now, sometimes people always also tell me that their spouses are without status and they're in Canada and they got married in Canada and they want to regulate their status. They don't know what to do. Whether your spouse, especially, are within status within Canada or without status within Canada, you are still entitled to file an application for inland spousal sponsorship, but your spouse will not be given the privilege of attaining a work permit until after the application is approved. Now, aside from this, you can obviously sponsor your dependent child as long as they're 22 years of age or less. No financial requirement, just a simple requirement to work. And you can sponsor your parent and grandparent, but that gets a bit more complex, and I'll explain that to you maybe some other time in another video. But today I really wanted to focus on the spousal and dependent child aspect. If you are in Canada, your spouse is in Canada, you guys are here together, you don't know if whether or not you have the right to file an application for sponsorship, or if you will qualify, my advice is take the advice of a professional. You can contact my office at any time, or I'm sure there are many professionals in your local area. Don't do these types of applications without assistance. Small errors can lead you into big problems. So I always suggest, if you're gonna do it, get it done right. That's all for today, guys. I'm headed towards downtown Toronto from London, Ontario. Expect to be there very shortly. Have a great day. It's bright and sunny. And again, if you guys do like these videos, if you're finding them helpful, please like, please subscribe. I appreciate the support. Have a great day, guys.